Alright, what up, the world? How's everyone doing? Literally just woke up about 20 minutes ago. Woke up refreshingly good, seeing as I haven't slept properly for a while. And I was flicking through basically the gram, Instagram, and I came across this Gary Vee post, which sort of made my day. I was like, yeah, it made me feel happy. To be honest, I always feel happy when I consume Gary Vee's videos because it reminds me of me, but just on a different frequency and spectrum. But that video, basically, I mean, that caption, I was like, it just made me have flashbacks of, you know, when before 2016, when I wasn't fulfilling and doing the things that I basically was supposed to be doing, or I didn't figure it out yet. I was always in a position, I was looking at other people and I was like, oh, that person has a business, that person, is a sick illustrator. And that person is a coach. This person has left their job and now they're working in a bigger, higher company. And I'm like, I'm stuck here. But I always knew that I was meant to do really, really big things. Like, I always knew that big things were supposed to happen for me. I could just feel it in my mind, body, and soul, but I didn't have an outlet. I didn't know how, who, why, and where. I didn't know what to do, what to say, and how to express that basically in beginning the process of building a foundation around the things that I basically, of course, love. And that used to just really, at times, it used to upset me. It used to make me feel, I used to dwell, I used to be down, I used to be like, why? Like, why can't I do the thing that I want to do, but I don't know what the thing that I want to do is? And I used to beat myself around, I used to beat myself up all the time because I could never figure it out. And it was just a situation where I was like, I remember there was times where I used to sit on the floor every single day when I was out at a particular spot. And no, it wasn't my lunch. It was literally on my lunch break. I used to sit outside on the floor opposite this building, and I used to look at that building, and I used to be like, when's it gonna happen, or why hasn't it happened? I used to be just there, and I had people looking at me like I was a crazy person sitting down on the floor and sometimes eating my food on the floor, just eating and just thinking and contemplating like, when is it gonna happen? Why hasn't it happened? And it was quite interesting that the things that I basically wanted, the things that I was supposed to be literally doing, basically, let's open this, because the things that I was supposed to be basically doing, I was actually doing them, but not basically doing it. I never knew about social media. I never knew about the platforms. I never knew about anything. I never knew how to basically do what I need to do because I never knew I had an outlet to express myself. So it was quite interesting when I actually, down the line, years, I got into the things that I wanted to do. But, just saying that, going through it, going through it, it makes me able to just really, how can I put it? What I went through at that particular period, it was the process of the catalyst, or like that particular. It was like the catalyst for me to move forward because I never knew. I was like, it was like, a splinter in my mind. It's like, what do I do? And I was comparing myself to people, and I was getting agitated, and I was getting frustrated, and I was also comfortable basically with the job. I was comfortable getting paid, and it used to bug me because I was comfortably getting paid, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do, and that used to drive me basically insane to a degree. So I was always chasing my dreams, literally mentally, but they never actually manifested physically because I didn't basically know what I was doing. I didn't know who I was back then. So it used to drive me completely nuts. So when I saw that Gary Vee post, it just kind of made me have flashbacks basically of when within that particular period and why I'm literally, of course, right now, which is a good place. And the thing that really the catalyst basically for me to do what I basically, the catalyst also, like in regards to me building what I've built now on like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and everything else, started from basically my love of basically of this of comic books. You know, through that basically, through watching the X-Men cartoons on Channel 2, and the Fantastic Hour, which had Marvel TV, four dope Marvel cartoons. I can't remember them all. It was a Spider-Man, Iron Man, the Fantastic Four. There was another one, but I can't remember. You know, through that got me introduced basically into Marvel. And when I was in primary school, basically, when I was around that particular age, around 8, 9, or 10, you know, friends of mine were into comics, and that got me introduced into Marvel comics, and I started literally just loving the brand. What was quite interesting is when I think about that Gary Vee post also, in regards to are you chasing your dreams? You know, as a kid, I used to collect comics and I used to illustrate and draw. And all of a sudden, at the age around like 13, 14, pow, I stopped. And then fast forward to 2000 and around, maybe 14, 13, I got back into comics. And then I started literally reading. And I felt so good and refreshed because I was like to myself, why did I even stop reading comics? What was it that actually stopped me from reading comics? I could never really go back in time and figure out why I actually stopped reading comic books at such a young age. But I loved it. And when I started reading comics, you know, when I got back into it, like years and years, you know, obviously things were changed. You know, storytelling, everything was changed to accommodate a new generation of readers, while also keeping the energy for the old school comic book readers. One of the things that I really don't like about comics nowadays, and the thing is, it's not even a bad thing. It has to be. It's just the recent comics. They're digital. Like the paper's very digital based. When you bought like an old school comic back in the day, it smelled different. The texture was different. You know, the art was much better because it wasn't digital. So, you know, saying all that to basically say that's how I kind of got into comics, for literally through going to the market with my dad, and of course being introduced to the X-Men. It was through the cartoons basically that I was introduced, like I said, to the X-Men and Spider-Man and everything else. So, you know, as a kid I've always loved comics. So fast forwarding basically, you know, 2015, 16, I started building up basically to Britishnerdz, and you know, it flourished from 2016 to now. So when I look back at the journey that I'm basically at, you know, my journey hasn't even begun. You know, there's so much things that I am doing and that I will do, and I haven't even started. Period. 100%. You know, I haven't started and actually. Just, I know there's so much things that I'm going to accomplish, so many things that I'm going to do that are just waiting to be done. So, you know, I look forward to actually doing those things. But yeah, that Gary Vee post has triggered all of that basically of, you know, the process of it all, like the nights where I was like, oh, why am I doing this? I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Who am I? You know, why is it I don't know what I want to do and other people do? And like, it used to just bug me, man. It really used to bug me so much, and it just got on my nerves, and I was like, oh, like, and then it finally clicked. And then when it clicked, you know, I became a much happier person. No, I not even became happier. Yeah, I did. I became happier and grounded in that happiness because I knew what I wanted to do.